Alright, so today we got a rear end, 10-bolt rear end and a 2000 Chevrolet. And this truck surprisingly had a 410 ratio in it from the factory. Um, I don't see many of those in 410s in a 1500 truck. So, I was kind of shocked to see it. So he brought it to me. We'd talked about it before. He said it was, I think he said it had been running low on fluid or whatever. And he added fluid and the noise didn't go away, surprisingly. So I told him typically what I see, is carrier bearings and the pinion bearings. The rollers will get pitted and tore up real bad, and then they make noise. So got in here, got on the rack. The bolts for the rear cover were in such bad shape. I had to use those extractors that you beat on there, and then they grab a hold of them and get them out. So I had to do that on every one of them. So I guess the truck, it's a northern truck, so it's got a little bit of rust on it and everything. So when I got the cover off, I saw that the ring gear was pretty worn, and there was a lot of backlash and a lot of play in it. So I told him we needed to get he needed a new ring and pinion, and so I got that in and on. His factory shims had 24.24 on this side and 0.20 on this side. And when I set it back up like that, there was no backlash at all, and it was like binding when you tried to roll it over with the pinion flange. So I took it back out, switched the shims, and then it had way too much backlash. So I needed 0.44 thickness total between the spacers. So I settled on 22 on this side and 22 on this side, and then measured my backlash, and it had about 11 thousandths. So that's about where I like to be, and it seems to work. So what I do on the pinion is I take the pinion that came out, get the pinion bearing off, and take that pinion shim and put it on my new pinion, and then reuse the crush sleeve, and then take my pipe wrench here and just hold the flange, and then just tighten it down until the pinion turns how I like it, not too loose, not too tight. And then I think it turned out pretty good, so we'll find out, after we get it together. But this, you can see it's a long bed, extended cab. It's a long truck. So here's the one that came out of his. I mean, you can see the teeth, maybe. See the teeth on them, how bad they're worn, and then the pinion as well. I tried to heat this bearing and get it off. Most of the times that works, but I had the torch on it for forever and it wouldn't come loose, so I just cut a diagonal in it with a cutoff wheel, and then stick a chisel in there and split it and break the press fit. But you can see how bad it's worn and how much play was in it. So then there was my original thickness, left and right, and then what I tried next. So like I say, that's how I do a rear end, on one of these trucks. I've done a lot of them that way and haven't had an issue. So typically Typically when you go to a new ring and pinion, you're gonna have to re-shim it. Sometimes you get lucky, but more times than not, you just gotta go in there and re-shim them, and then always measure your shims and see, what they are left and right, and then just try to back into and get the backlash right. 10 to 12, is what I normally like to shoot for. Like I say, this one came in at 11, so just moving it from 0.24 to 0.22, I was able to get it out of the pinion enough to get that measurement. So, but yeah, this thing is pretty beat. The bearings actually didn't look that bad. The carrier bearings and the pinion bearings, I mean, they weren't what I was expecting to see. But like I say, just the wear. I mean, you can see the wear on those teeth. I mean, man, it had a lot of play in it. So, but anyway, that's that.